So yeah, I've been very lucky with the bass, and it is one of those things where it would be a real sore point if I had to let it go. And maybe one day where there won't be a choice, but I've been lucky so far. And there was an interesting point my sister made. She was like, "Why don't you go through different basses if you go through selling and buying different guitars?" I was like, "That's a good point." And I sat down and thought about it. I said, "It's literally because it's perfect, as perfect as something like that could be." Whereas guitar-wise, if you're doing this kind of instrumental stuff and you've got to play in a band as varied as the kind of bands I've been in, you're kind of changing your requirements a lot in that way. Whereas with the bass, although I'm a plectrum bass player, which is not traditional, the way I go after the sounds is totally traditional. I will do a gig or a recording with the same sound from start to finish, like a lot of bass players do. You pick one ideal clean sound, and it starts the gig that way and ends the gig that way. And if you can get that from it, and it doesn't go out of tune, which it doesn't, probably if I had more requirements, maybe I would have more basses around, maybe another couple or something, if there was more complex pedal board requirements or whatever. But if it needs to do that one sound, which it definitely does, then that's all I ever tend to use. I mean, obviously in the mixes, you're tweaking stuff around a little bit because it's got to fit from song to song. So, but it's still the one basic, apart from the little distorted bit on the final arbiter. It's a clean sound on every track. So, and it fits that perfectly. I don't think I even changed the volume or the tone controls on it. I've always found that the best sound on that for a recording is to crank all three of them up. Volume and both tone controls, just stick them up, and then it acts as like a single humbucker. It just turns everything on all maxed out, and it seems to sound better in a studio environment.